You can eat the best foods, take supplements, and use the perfect skincare products. But if you aren't progressing, all those things don't matter. What's up, guys? Today, we are going to talk about the one thing that is for sure the most important thing when it comes to building muscle. It's actually pretty simple, and most people know it, but they don't do it because they think they should. But they don't really know why they should. So today I am gone. Now I explain why it is so important and how you can apply it to your training so you can finally start seeing progress in your physique. That one thing is progressive overload. Progressive overload simply means gradually increasing the demands placed on the muscles over time. This causes the body to continue adapting and growing stronger and bigger over time. Now let me explain why this is so crucial. Our bodies are very efficient and they adapt very quickly. If we keep doing the same thing over and over again, our body will only do what's required of it. For example, if we keep lifting the same weight for bicep curls, eventually our body will just get used to that weight and stop growing muscle. This is called a plateau. To break through this plateau, we have to put more demand on our body by increasing the weight load, repetitions, sets, decreasing rest time, or increasing frequency. All these factors play a role in increasing the overall stress placed on our muscles, which in turn leads to more growth. We have to continuously challenge our muscles in new ways to stimulate continued adaptation and growth. Now let's discuss the different methods of application. By far the most common and probably the most effective way to apply progressive overload is by increasing the weight you lift. This could mean adding 5 pounds to the bar every week on bench press, for example, or adding 10 pounds to your squat. When you lift heavier weights, you send a strong signal to your body that there is a need to build more muscle and increase strength. Lifting heavier weights also stimulates the release of more anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone, which helps with muscle growth. But keep in mind, you shouldn't sacrifice form for weight. Proper form is very important for 2 reasons. One is that it will help you avoid injuries while lifting weights. Injuries will only set you back. And 2, if you don't use proper form, you won't target the right muscles. You may end up targeting random muscles that are not even relevant to the exercise you're trying to do. Another way to apply progressive overload is by doing more repetitions with the same weight. For example, if you normally do 3 sets of 10 reps on bench press, you could try 4 sets of 10 reps. Doing more reps with the same weight increases the amount of stress placed on your muscles, leading to more growth. Some studies show that doing higher rep ranges, such as 15 or more reps, can lead to greater muscle growth than doing lower rep ranges, such as 6 or fewer reps. Doing more reps also improves muscular endurance, which is the ability of a muscle to sustain repeated contractions against resistance. This can help you perform better in other physical activities that require endurance, like running or biking. A third way to apply progressive overload is by doing more sets on an exercise. So instead of doing 3 sets of 10 reps, you would do 4 sets of 10 reps. Each additional set adds more stress to your muscles, leading to more growth. Doing more sets also helps improve muscular endurance, allowing you to work longer and harder during your workouts. Decreasing rest time is another method of applying progressive overload. Normally after each set of an exercise you take a break to recover. This allows your heart rate to drop and your muscles to relax before beginning the next set. However, if you want to increase the intensity of your workout, you can decrease the amount of time you spend resting between sets. Instead of resting for 2 to 3 minutes between sets of heavy bench press, for example, you could rest for only 60 seconds. This can help improve your cardiovascular fitness and increase the amount of work your muscles do during your workout. But keep in mind, decreasing rest times is most effective when paired with other methods like increasing weight or reps. Also, don't go too low with rest time, especially if you're doing heavy compound lifts, like squats or Make sure you give your body enough time to recover before attempting another heavy set. Next is increased frequency. This refers to how often you train a particular muscle group during the week. For example, if you currently train your chest twice a week, you could try training it 3 times a week. By increasing the frequency of your workouts, you put more stress on your muscles, leading to more growth. This can also help improve muscular and increased frequency is particularly effective when combined with other progressive overload techniques like increasing weight or reps. Finally, you can improve your form or time under tension. Improving your form is another way to increase the effectiveness of your workouts. Maintaining strict form during exercises helps ensure that you are targeting the right muscles and avoiding injuries. It also increases the time under tension, which is the amount of time that your muscles are under stress during an exercise. By improving your form and increasing the time under tension, you can increase the amount of work your muscles do during your workouts, leading to more growth. For example, instead of performing bicep curls in 2 seconds, you can try to perform them in 4 seconds. In this case, you'd concentrate on lowering the dumbbell down over a count of 4 seconds. Performing exercises with stricter form or slower eccentric movements increases the time under tension, placing more stress on your muscles and leading to more growth. Now let me say that no one will see results if they stick to a progressive overload scheme. Let us say you decide to do more reps and you choose to do 20 reps every single set on every single exercise. Well, that sounds great. But you won't be able to do that forever. Because at some point your muscles will get so big you won't even be able to curl 10 pounds anymore. So you have to keep upping the amount of weight you lift, sets, you do, frequency, and all those other things. That's why it's called progressive overload. It has to be progressive. There are many ways to apply progressive overload, but it's important to note that not all of these methods are equal. For example, increasing the weight you lift is generally considered to be the most effective way to apply progressive overload, followed closely by increasing reps. On the other hand, increasing frequency is generally considered to be the least effective way to apply progressive overload. That being said, all of these methods can be effective if done correctly, and they can all lead to muscle growth. It really depends on what works best for you and your goals. It is also important to remember that you don't have to use all of these methods at once. In fact, it's usually best to focus on 1 or 2 methods at a time. That way you can be sure that you're redoing them correctly and getting the most out of your workouts. Remember that everyone responds differently to progressive overload. Some people may see faster results than others, but that doesn't mean that they're doing something wrong. It could just mean that their body responds well to the progressive overload methods they're using. Everyone has different genetic potentials for muscle growth. Even though you could be doing everything right, your results may differ from someone else's. Don't compare yourself to others and just focus on making progress over time. Lastly, I want to mention that progressive overload isn't the only factor that affects muscle growth. Nutrition and rest are also important factors. Without proper nutrition, your body won't have the nutrients it needs to repair muscle tissue and grow. And without adequate rest, your body won't be able to recover from workouts and build muscle. To sum it all up, progressive overload is essential for muscle growth. Increasing the weight you lift, reps you perform, sets you complete, decreasing rest time or increasing frequency are all effective methods to apply progressive overload. Remember that you have to use all of these methods at once, and that everyone responds differently to progressive overload. Keep track of your workouts and make adjustments as needed. Focus on 1 or 2 progressive overload methods at a time, gradually increasing the intensity of your workouts over time. Use proper form, get enough rest, and eat a balanced diet to support your muscle growth goals. Be patient and consistent with your training, and you'll see results over time. So that wraps it up for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. And if you'd like to learn more about a proven plan to building muscle and burning fat, click the link below. I'll see you guys soon.